Hello, I'm Tony Jennings of Privateer Web Solutions, and in this video I want to cover how to define your site requirements, the first part of the process I use when creating or improving a website for a client or patron. I break this stage down into 4 substages. Stage 1 is defining your goals clearly. Here we attempt to come up with not only why you are doing what you are doing, but long-term goals that can be used as a measuring stick. 2. Define and examine your offerings. Once your goals are defined, we look at what you are offering, make sure that the things you offer can reasonably let you meet your goals, and adjust your offerings if needed. Step 3 is to define your audiences and their needs. Using your offerings, we can then define your target audiences and figure out what your website will need in order to best serve them. Finally, in step 4, we define your needs. We look at what your website needs or could use in order to help you better meet your goals. Once done with this stage of my process, you should have a solid requirements document that can be used to come up with a usable web development plan, which is stage 2 of my process. So, defining goals. Let's take a closer look at how you define your goals. Your goals should state what you are doing and, where possible, set target numbers and dates for meeting them. The more clearly you can state your goals, the more easily you will be able to measure your progress. Being able to measure your progress accurately will help you to stay focused and, if necessary, make changes to correct your course. For example, if you noted that you had a goal of making a living without a day job, you might take a closer look at what that means. How much money do you need to make each month in order for that goal to be met? How soon do you want to be making that much per month? Where are you currently in reaching that goal? Once done, you might restate your goal more accurately as, I want to be making $4,000 per month after costs within 1 year's time. Now you have a goal that you can keep better tabs on. Of course, you might start by setting long-term goals and then set shorter and easier to reach goals as well. The main point is to be realistic in your goals. You can always adjust them if needed later. Once you've measurable goals defined, you should take a look at what you are offering in order to meet those goals. I recommend starting with a list of what you are now offering or planning to offer. Take a look at each thing you offer and ask if it helps to meet any of your goals in some way. If not, consider dropping it. Once done, look at all of your offerings combined and check to make sure that they could potentially let you meet your goals. If not, you should definitely spend more time looking at what you offer and consider what else you might offer. For example, do current potential competitors offer things that you don't, but could? Do people ask you for things that you don't currently offer? If you provide a service, would it make sense to offer training on how to do what you do? If you teach people to do things, would it make sense to offer any necessary tools if you don't do so already? Are there others you could partner with that have the same audiences and are not direct competitors? The main point is to state clearly what you offer and ensure that your offerings can potentially let you meet your goals. Once your offerings are clearly spelled out, you can then start profiling your audiences. For each offering, ask yourself who would want it if they knew about it. Try to be as specific as possible. For example, if you're opening a coffee shop, instead of trying to reach people who like coffee, you might try to create more specific groups such as business professionals that like meeting over coffee, or people who enjoy coffee, reading, and heavy metal music. Be certain to be as specific as you can, as it will make reaching your audience a lot easier. Be sure to define at least one audience for each offering. Next, look at each audience and ask yourself what the perceived benefits of your offering are to that audience. You want at least one benefit per audience for each offering, though having more than that is a good thing. Once you can see what benefit your offering provides to a particular audience, you can reach out to those seeking that particular benefit. Next, take a look at each offering, audience, and perceived benefit and consider how, and if, you want to reach members of that audience that are at different stages of awareness. I tend to break awareness out by what people are seeking using 6 groups. Group 1 is people who are not seeking anything. Your product may provide real benefit to a particular audience, but people in this group aren't looking for anything, typically because they haven't perceived any kind of problem. Sometimes these people do perceive a problem, but believe that something is just the way it is. The best ways to reach these people are typically via advertising and word of mouth. Group 2 consists of people who are actively seeking something, but don't yet know what is available to scratch their itch. Often, you can reach these people by simply showing them how to do so. Group 3 knows of at least one way to get what they want and is currently in the process of trying to figure out which would work best for them. Providing comparisons can often reach this group nicely. Group 4 knows generally what they want to address their need, want, or problem, and is trying to decide on a specific way of doing so. Providing comparisons can often reach this group nicely as well. Group 5 knows exactly what they want and is looking for the best perceived deal. Providing detailed information that is not the same as everyone else's information can reach these people, as can having a lower price, providing perks for going with you instead of someone else, etc. Group 6, which I call the captive audience, already knows what they want and who they want it from. They can typically be reached when their current provider fails them or via advertising. Once you have figured out what kinds of content your users are looking for, you can start thinking about what kinds of content your website needs in order to reach your audiences. By creating different kinds of pages that address the needs of different awareness states, you can reach a lot more people and get them on track towards the offering or offerings that will best serve their needs. Sometimes, you can model your content on the awareness states, designing pages earlier in the process to lead people to pages later in the process. Sometimes it makes sense to do things differently. Most types of web pages can be broken down into 5 primary groups. Problem pages. These talk about specific problems and likely lead into potential solutions or types of solutions. Comparison pages, whether they compare different approaches or different items, these pages speak to those who are trying to decide what would be best for them. They might be sales or lead pages, or simply take people to sales or lead pages for each item compared. Sales and lead pages, or action pages. These pages typically showcase a product or service, give people detailed information about it, and prompt visitors to take some kind of action. Utilities. These may or may not be their own pages, but provide visitors with useful functionality. Calculators, event calendars, order histories, and other such items fall into this group. Other page types. Supporting pages such as About, Contact, Testimonial, and Case Study pages fall into this category. Sometimes these will be sections of another page, sometimes they will stand on their own. Typically, this type of page is created to build trust or offer proof. No matter which types of pages you come up with, the focus of each page type should be to speak to your audience and get them to take some action, even if that action is to simply laugh. Once you've defined the types of pages you're going to need for your audiences, you should take some time to consider any additional page types and/or functionality that will help you to meet your goals. Normally, these will fall into the following categories: information collection, content, utilities, integrations. Information collection. Often, you will need some kind of information from your visitors. Whether you need information to provide a service, make a sale, provide better service, or simply because you'd like to have it, I recommend 2 things. First, avoid asking for information that isn't needed to help your audience in some way. Second, avoid requiring information that is not absolutely necessary. If you have information that would be nice to have but is not critical, consider asking for it after your visitor has done what you want them to do. Content. Sometimes you need extra content on your site for business or legal reasons. Common pages of this type are terms of service, privacy policies, etc. You might also want extra information on your site for use internally by your business, such as customer lists. Utilities. Being software, a website can also provide reporting, implement business workflows, generate emails when certain things happen, and do a variety of other things to help automate your processes and/or keep information in a central repository. Integrations. If you use business tools in your process, a website can typically be made to read information from them and/or send information to them. Having new people automatically added to a mailing list or customer response management system can be a lot nicer than having to log in every day and copy data by hand, or send emails to somebody who then has to enter the data by hand. Once you've completed this stage of my process, you should have clearly stated and well-defined goals, a list of everything you offer along with details on which audiences want each item, what benefits each item provides each audience, and what kinds of things they are seeking that would indicate that they want a particular offering. A list of the types of pages you need on your website to best serve your audiences, a list of the types of pages and systems you might want to best serve yourself, and once you have these things, you can use them to come up with a clear development plan, the subject of the next stage of my process. Thanks for watching. Tony.